So this is my video 65 and I'm going to start it with reading aloud some of my translations just to practice my pronunciation while reading aloud the poems that I like. Well, actually, for the last month I read more poems that I did for the last 10, maybe even 20 years. Well, yeah. And most of these poems are my translations into English of the poems that I liked at my school. Okay. Bogdanovic's Зорка Венера. Venus, the star, shines above the horizon, making the bright thoughts arrive. Do you remember when we met each other? Okay. Venus, the star, shines above the horizon, making the bright thoughts arrive. Do you remember when we meet each other? Venus, the star, shone above. That's when I started to look for a Venus in the night sky, when the stars shone above. That's when I felt the attraction between us. That's when I started to love. But it is time to depart permanently. Maybe we're doomed to be always apart. I love you so much, I kiss you so gently, but it is time to depart. In that unknown distant place, I will dream us holding each other in a soft embrace. Every night I'll fix my eyes on a Venus in that unknown distant place. From time to time, look at it from the distance. That's where our glances will finally meet, so that a love will arise for an instant. From time to time, look at it. The next one is, again, Bogdanovic's Слуцкие ткачихи. She has been taken for the fashion from her loved parents and her friends, and locked inside the master's mansion to weave his precious golden belts. Enduring all those heavy labors, abandoning her girlish dreams, she works as hard as other slave girls and braids the oriental schemes. Behind the walls, the birds are singing, the sun is shining in the sky. Her thoughts reach out without thinking towards some place where spring has come. The air is transparent like a crystal, the river flows around the hill, the ears of wheat gleam in the distance, lots of cornflowers grace the field. The pine trees stand not ever fading, forgetting Persian ornaments, and lost in thoughts, the weavers braiding the blue cornflowers of her lands. Okay, the next one will be again the translation of the Belarusian poem. Yeah, again it's Bogdanovic's Pogonya. Once my heart will become very frightened of the fate of that homeland of mine, then the sane gait of dawn and the riders on the horses will come to my mind. The white horses rush forward insanely, they whiz badly, they hurry, they trot. The Pogonya of great old Lithuania can be crushed, can be held, can be stopped. You fly forth to the infinite distance, outrunning the years in your chase. Who are those you pursue? What's the difference of the roads that you choose on your way? Belarus, maybe they left the prudence in pursuit of your daughters and sons, who sold out, who betrayed you like Judas, who surrendered you, and who renounced. Pierce the hearts with the swords, with the missiles. Never let them be strangers at will. Make the hearts feel the sorrow while missing the white stock flying over the mill. Dear country, the land of my fathers, this sharp pain won't be ever at ease. You forgive, you accept like a mother. Let your son give his life for you, please. The white horses fly through the centennials, and the hooves drum like 1,000 gunshots. The Pogonya of great old Lithuania can be crushed, can be held, can be stopped. The next one is Янка Купала's спадщина. My great-grandfathers from the past bestowed on me the heritage. That's like my mother's care lasts, no matter if I'm poor or rich. I see it in my fairy dreams, evoked by gurgling of the creek, by rustling of the fallen leaves, by creaking of the singed oak tree. And I recall it in my mind when I see that moss-covered fence, and when I hear the distant sound which follows the stork's maiden dance, and that bellowing of the calves which graze the grass around the birch, and that crow's cry which spreads above the half-wrecked cemetery church. Within the day and through the night, I do my volunteer patrol to check if my gem's still in sight and wasn't eaten by the drone. I carry it inside my heart, like that forever burning flame, illuminating my dark path, which leads me through my fears and pain. It dwells among my dreams and thoughts, and I have not once put it aside. My heritage is just the spot where I was born and lived and died. Okay, and the last poem for reading aloud, it's Kupala's translation of one part of his Kurgan. All the residents knew the Gusliar's Gusli well, his thought singing pierced right to the essence. Lots of marvelous legends and strange tales dwell in the sites where his thought marked its presence. It's believed as he stepped forward and starts to play on his strings with his ruthless frank singing, then the sleep goes away, then the pain mitigates, and the aspens, the oaks, stop the crinkling. Then the woods do not squeak, then the elk does not pass, and the nightingale pauses its warbles, meets the odors of the stream, runs not making a fuss, and the roach's hide floats under waters. In the marshes stand still the mermaids and the minks, no more shrill wailing cries of the plover, to the thought singing of the Guslar's living strings, that flaunts its mysterious flower. Okay, so this was my translations, and I read them aloud maybe for the third time in total, and my reading skills improved dramatically, but I can see some grammatical errors or just logical errors that I wanted to change last time when I read it aloud, but I just didn't. So I hope at some point I will improve all the places that I want to do, and then I will read the poem the way it should sound. And right now I'm going to practice my English on explaining programming scripts written in Swift, because let's do this. So the next function, the next piece of code, again, it is in the form of a function, because the function is the structure that is allowed and that is accepted on the Code Wars site. So I can see that. Let me make some small adjustment or something. Okay, let's do like this. So function max ball, it accepts one parameter, the name of the parameter v0, it's of the type integer, and it has no I don't know, decorated name, explicit name in the declaration of the function. So the function returns integer as well. Now I'm going to read, to comment all the strings, all the lines of the code, and then to guess what this function is doing. So in the first line, okay, let v equals double v0 over 3.6. Okay, we take the input parameter v0, which is integer, which is of integer type, and we convert it to the double type, convert it to double. Then we divide it by 3.6. 3.6. Next, var n equals 1. Okay, we initialize something to 1. var h equals 0.0, and then there goes the while cycle, and this cycle, okay, this is the infinite cycle because we see the condition while true, yeah, in the first line of the cycle. So what's going on here? We convert, okay, we convert n into double, multiply it by 0.1, and we get a constant t. I think t means time. Then we okay, then we have some kind of a function when we calculate the constant h next. It equals to v times t minus 0.5 times 9.81 times t times t. I think this is the formula from the mechanics about I don't really remember what it's about. Okay, I think that it's about the process when we throw vertically upward something like a ball, max ball, yeah, and then we can calculate the height of the ball considering yeah, at different moments of time, because we have the initial speed of the ball, yeah, and we have all the necessary parameters, constants for the formula, like 9.81, which is the constant for the gravity constant G, and minus what? Minus 0.5 times 9.81 times t. This is the thing, the part of the equation that shows the negative acceleration, or the slowing of the ball because of the gravity force which is applied to this ball. So anyway, we use this formula, and we calculate the height of the ball above the ground at some particular period of time t. Yeah, and then if h is less than, I don't know about h, okay, if h next is less than h, then return n minus 1. Then yeah, we assigns the h next to the h, and then we increase the counter variable, which is n. Well, I'm not sure exactly. I'm not going to spend too much time on this stuff, but I think it's about throwing ball throwing ball up in the air, and then finding the interval of time, and this interval is equal to 0.1 seconds. Finding how many these intervals of time will pass until the ball reaches the ground, if we throw it from the level of the ground. Okay, so this is it. Next. Maybe I should go through reading aloud of the text, the way I explain the elements of the Swift language, and then I can comment on this stuff from the logic that was implemented behind this code. So right here we see two functions. The first one, function getRandomArray. It takes 3 parameters from a. The first one is a of the type array, the array of integers, and it has the external name from. The second parameter is num of the type integer, and it has no any external names, so it means that the name of the parameter num will be used as its external name when we call this function. And the third parameter letter of the type string, it will be this name letter will be used as the external parameter, as the external name of this parameter when we will call this function. Anyway, this function accepts three parameters: the array of ints, just an integer, and just a string, and it returns the array of strings. And what this function does: so var array equals to a, we assign the parameter a to our new variable r, because because the parameter which is passed to the function is a constant, and to change its meaning we create our variable array and we assign this parameter a to our new variable array. Next, we create some variable output which is equal to the empty array of strings. I think, yeah, it will be the variable that will get the output results of this function, as we can see at the last line of this function when we return this output. Next, we see the loop, for loop, which has the counter e, and this counter changes from 0 to num without including it. It's a common programming idiom when in plain everyday logic we count the elements of any array, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But in most programming languages, the counting starts with 0, so the last element will be calculated like the size of the array minus 1. That's why we start with 0 and we iterate till the element, till the last element before num. And in most languages, to do this, we just write num minus 1, but in Swift we have the special write code for this. We write point less sign. If we want to iterate from 0 till num, including this num, we will write 3 points. And then for each value of this variable I, we perform the body inside of the function. This body consists of 3 lines. The first one, let index equal, well, it's not really, okay, let index equals int, not equal, let index is assigned to, no, signs is assigned wow. Well, actually I don't know how I can express the meaning of every assignment, because I can say like we assign the right part of this statement to the left part of this statement. But here I need to say something like we assign assigned with okay, yes, I know. I can't say assign, but I can initialize. We initialize the constant index with some random integer number that we get from the interval between 0 and array point count, which means the size of the array without including the size of without including the size of the array. So we can choose any number. Let's say the array size is 5. Then we can choose any number from the set of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 without including 5. And int.random generates chooses the random number from this set, and then we assign this random number to our index constant. And in the next line we use this index constant. So we initialize constant lm, which is the shortage, which is the short form of element. Okay, we initialize lm, a very constant lm, with the array from which we remove the element at the position which was calculated in the previous line. So we from the array we remove. That's why in the first line of the body of this function we assigned the parameter array to our variable r, because we need to modify this array. So we remove the element at position index from this array, and we assign the resulting array to the constant lm. No, of course not. We remove the element at the position index from the array, and we assign this removed element to this lm constant. But array itself has the size. Okay, but the array lives within the body of this function, and now it became shorter by one element. And in the last line of this loop, we add the we add the string lm and letter and lm, which is the letter which was removed, and lm is the index where this letter was in the original, maybe. I at index, I don't know. Okay, where this letter was inside of the array. Then we start the next iteration of the loop. So it's obvious. Then we are going to make num iterations and remove num letters from the array, and then we return the output, which contains the array of the strings, strings which are the pair of letters and elms. And then we have the next function, which is getCard. It accepts no elements, and it just returns the array of the strings. And the whole body of the function consists of only one statement, return statement, but it is quite long. So what's going on here? We use the function that getRandomArray function that we defined at the top of the file. So first we take array number 5, number 4. What is number 5? Number 5, letter B. I don't know really what the fuck is going on. getRandomArray. getRandomArray. Arrays 1 till 15. Then number 5, letter B. Maybe, let me think a little. What is this A? A, which is R, remove at index, remove something at index. We remove the element at some index. Array count, random 0. Okay, we find some random array. Okay, we have the arrays 1 till 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 16. Okay, then we got 5 random indexes of this array, and we remove it. And one, I don't know, very strange thing. What about this letter? Anyway, I think that we just generate 5 indexes from 1 to 15, 5 indexes, and we assign them and we combine them into the pair, into the string with the letter B. Then we do the same thing with I, N, G, O, and we will get just the array of pairs, B1, B2, B3, B4, then I, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a very strange task, but it is what it is. Okay, next. Let's go to the next. Okay. Let's go to the next function, and it declares like function count bits. It accepts the parameter n with without explicit name, or with skipped explicit name. That's why we write this underscore, n has the type of integer and the function returns integer. And what I did here, I take this n integer and converted it into string using the constructor for string. As we can see, this constructor takes two arguments. N is the number, and radix 2 means we use this binary notation. So I think n number, an integer, is translated into the binary representation and then is converted into the string. And then we use the filter function, which is kind of the function, the element of the functional language in functional paradigm within the Swift. And this filters all the this filter takes all the characters of the string, and when this character is equal to 0, then it this character passes forward, passes forward. But when the character is not equal to 1, or which means the condition of filter function returns false, then this character is skipped, and the output of filter function is only all 1 characters that are in the string. And then we apply count function, count property maybe, which returns the length of the resulting string, which is the number of ones within the string, and which is the number of bits inside of the representation of binary representation of the initial number. And well, I like this code quite well, because I can understand what it's about. It's quite concise, but it uses different approaches from Swift. But there is even better approach. Swift has the inner implementation of this type of behavior functionality, and I wrote in the comments for this code that there is point non-zero bit count function, which do all this work that I implemented automatically, because other programmers in Apple implemented this function for me beforehand. So if I knew about the existence of this function, or if I googled it, I could find this function and just use only one. It's not really a function, it's just a property as well, the property of the string, but it counts all the bytes, all the non-zero bits, that which is really the solution for this current task. Next, let's see level 6 build tower Swift. So obviously from the name of the function we build some tower builder. The function is called tower builder. It takes one parameter without any external name, so n will be the external name, and the type of the parameter is integer, and the function returns the array of strings, and the function, somewhere we define the variable output, which is the empty array of strings, and then we return this output in the end of the function. But first we define we define and initialize the constant full len, which is 2 times n minus 1. I don't know what does this mean. Something like really I don't know. And then we have the cycle for loop from 1 to n including it, to n included. And we see 3 dots operator, which means that we go through all the values from 1 to n included. Like, let's say n is equal to 5, then we go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the first line we initialize stars len. Oh yeah, I think I got the idea. We initialize the stars len, which is 2 times e minus 1. Then we initializes the constant spaces len, and we calculate it as the subtraction of full len and stars len over 2. Then we initialize constant spaces. Okay, I'm going to say this explicitly because this way I practice my speaking skills. So we initialize the constant spaces, and it equals initialized with the string of spaces of the length space len, and we create this string by the constructor of string with the parameters repeating the element that we want to repeat, and count accepts the number of these elements. Again, then we initialize the stars constant with the string which contains star symbols of the string of the len stars len. Again, we use this string constructor for it, which takes repeating parameter for the character we want to repeat within this line, and count parameter shows the number of the length of this line, and in the end we add the element, a new element to the output array, and this element consists of the concatenation of spaces stars and spaces strings. I can't really imagine in my head what this stuff is about. it's better to run this program and see what it does, but I successfully commented all the lines and practiced my English a little doing this. Now I'm going to the next function. Let's see. To the next function. I don't see. Oh shit! I don't see the. Okay, now I see it. So this function. I have the name of this task, buying a car. So we need to buy a car. Maybe we buy this car taking the loan, and we need to return this money to the bank with the interest that we together with the interest that is accumulated depending on the sum that we loaned. So we have the function number of month, and it accepts 4 parameters. All of them, 3 of them are integers, and the fourth one is of the type double. So start price old, start price new, saving per month, and percent loss by month. And this function returns the tuple containing 2 elements of types integer and integer. So of course I'm not going to understand the logic behind this code just by looking at this code, but I'm going to practice the same stuff again. I will go through each line. First I will say aloud the elements of this line, and then I will describe the logic behind this line. So var n equals 0, equal sign 0. So var n equals sign 0. Yeah, I don't need to read this as if it's a sentence. I just need to read aloud each element, like var n equals sign and equal sign 0. Here we initialize a variable n with 0. Next, var percent loss equals sign double open parenthesis percent loss by month close parenthesis. Yeah, here we initialize the variable percent loss with or maybe it's better to say something like this. We convert integer variable percent loss by month into double variable and assign it and we call this variable percent loss. The same goes with 2 other lines. We convert the integer variable start price old into the double variable price old. Or maybe we convert the integer constant start price new into the double variable price new. Now we can operate with this mutable variables, and again we assign var saving equals sign point 0 point. We initialize saving with double zero, with a zero number of double type. Then we have the while cycle, while price old plus saving less than price new. So this is the condition for our cycle, for our loop, and n is our counter. We increment it on the first line. In the first line, then we check the special condition. If the modular n over 2 is equal to 0, which means if n is divided by 2 without any remainders, or it means that if n is an even number, then percent loss becomes greater by 0.5%, I think, or 0.5 something, I don't know what is it, but we increase percent loss each 2 months by some constant value. And next we calculate price old, like we calculate price old percent loss. Okay, yeah, I think this is 0.5%. So we calculate the some part of this price old by multiplying it by percent loss over 100, and then we subtract this value from the price old variable. And we do the same stuff with price new. We multiply price new by percent loss over 100. Then we subtract this result from the initial price new, and we calculate the saving, which is the product of 7 per month and our counter 7 per month times n. But because this product is of type integer, we need to convert it into double, so we have our saving, and this three variables are used as the condition for while cycle when we consider the condition that price old plus saving is less than plus price new. But when our price old plus saving becomes greater than or equal to price new, we stop the cycle, and we go to the last almost the last line, where we calculate the leftover, which is the remainder after we buy the car. So I think I understand the logic behind this algorithm right now, and it's about us having an old car, and we can make some savings, and a new car loses in its price from time to time. And of course the old car loses in its price from time to time. So we have this race when we use our old car and when we create some savings, and we hope that at some point we can sell our car and add our savings, and this sum will be enough to buy a new car. But the task was about the sum that will be left after we buy a car. So we need to return a tuple, and the first element of the tuple is the counter, which is the number of months that we waited until we got enough savings. And the second parameter is the rounded value of this leftover variable, and it's converted into int so that we could return two int elements of this tuple. Maybe variable. Okay, so that's all right. I practiced a little my skills of pronouncing aloud. It's actually about pronouncing all the stuff with variables, assignment, initializing, multiplying, division, and stuff. That's a good practice, because it creates the foundation for describing what you do with your code. Okay, I think I have more than 50 minutes of talking in this video recording, so I'm going to stop sooner. Yeah, maybe that's all, or maybe I'll just go back to my poems and read aloud one of the poems by yes, this is the translation of Yesenin's «Не жалею, ни зову, не плачу». No more calling, weeping and regretting, all will vanish like the morning fog, captured by the golden autumn setting. I won't be so youthful anymore. Now my heart will never be so eager, having felt the touching of the chill, and the harem of the white birch figures won't behold my running down the hill. Really, my adventurous free spirit reaches those breathtaking snowy heights. I have no more fires in my feelings. I have lost the glitter in my eyes. May I have grown greedier in my wishes all my life, or have I dreamed of you as if I alone possessed the riches of the diamonds of the morning dew? We are all mortal underneath the heaven. Golden leaves are falling like the rain. Let it all be praised and blessed forever that emerged to blossom and to fade. And yeah, in the end I'm going to read aloud my translation of Lukomoria by Pushkin, with the mistakes that I didn't correct yet, but that's alright. Let's go. The great green oak grows in the harbor. The golden chain hangs from the tree. From dawn till dusk, the science lover, the clever cat, walks on the stream. He sings the song while walking forward. He tells the story walking back. There all the marvels are mind-blowing. The mermaid sits upon the bank. There are the traces of the demons along the overgrown old tracks. The hut, which has no doors and windows, stands on the monstrous chicken legs. The woods and fields are full of wonders. There, at the threshold of each sunrise, the waves rush forward on the coast, and 30 knights in their bright armor come in succession from the harbor, and the commander marches first. There, passing lazily, the Baron arrests the fierce and evil king. There, through the clouds, high in the heaven, the grey dark wizard, like the raven, transports the hero on his wings. There, in the jail, the girl languishes, backed by the wolf, which serves her wishes. There, Baba Yaga's mortar strolls, without the steering and controls. There, Tsar Koshchei will always fear it, the scent of mighty Russian spirit. And there I was. I drank the mead, I saw the oak tree at the harbor, the clever cat, the science lover told me his stories of great deeds. Great tree and the great oak. Okay, so this is it. I think this is the end of my video number 65. And stop.